The following program has been rated GE by the Kenya Film Classification Board. It is therefore suitable for general family viewing.
Hello viewer, welcome to our today's episode on your favorite show Chungu Jamii with me Kate Waliaro. Now today we are talking about the struggles of the Kenyan youth. I know it's a lot. I know you know that, and that's why we are going to talk about it today so that we can see the various things that our youth are going through, and we can also see how we can be able to help them, help themselves and become better and live a better life. You know, as usual, Chungu Jamii comes here to educate us, to make us know the things that are happening around us, to inspire us, to educate us, and to allow us live a better life. So as usual, I'm not alone. I'm with someone here who is going to help us navigate through this session on the struggles of the Kenyan youth, including the teenagers. I know we are going through a tough time, but hey, if we know them, we can be able to build our strength and become better. So I'm going to introduce to you my guest. He's Ojijo Tula. Yeah, you're most welcome.
Thank you.
Please do introduce yourself to our viewer.
Okay, to the viewers today, my name's Tula Ojijo or Ojijo Tula. I'm a youthful person, an upcoming professional, and a politician at the same time. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Okay, you're most welcome, Tula.
Yes.
And make sure you're joining our conversation on our SMS line 21144 and in all our social media handles at GBS TV Africa. And let's do this. Let's see the various and the very many struggles that our Kenyan youth goes through. You know, my heart is for you, my dears. So let's see. So Tula, I know these problems do not just start in our youthfulness. They start way back even when young boys and girls are born. It flows to their teenagehood, but I think in the teenagers is where some of these things start from, because I think they are mishandled. There's a way the society looks at the teenager, and this culminates into bigger problems when they become young adults. So what are some of the struggles that the teenage Kenyan goes through?
Okay, at teenagehood, it's obviously clear that their behaviors and characters are informed by the people who are elderly, or the ones who are ahead of them in terms of age.
Yeah.
And it is also a contribution of the atmosphere, the environment in which they are brought up. So if a parent can get the environment right, then it is most likely that the child or the children within that house are going to be better persons.
What do you
Yes.
mean by the environment that the child is being raised?
Okay, that one is informed by the type of behaviors or the upbringing that is. Okay, environments where people can live, they vary. And maybe the first classification that you can have can be maybe the rural side and the urban. Okay, up country and within urbanized areas.
Yeah.
So you'll find within the towns, there's some behaviors that children do depict.
Okay.
And within the rural, there are also some areas. Like in my own case, okay, when I was born, I was like almost the last in a family of around 7. So my parents, they were staying in Nairobi, including I, but now they insisted that for a better upbringing, they wanted us to be brought up in the up country.
Okay.
You know, they were simply saying that being brought outside these towns impacts a sense of responsibility. In that at home, you are exposed to so many things. You are treated as if you belong to the society or the community at large. Anyone who comes around can pardon you. There's a lot of chores that you can do. You can farm, you can hunt, you can do so much. So that one preoccupies you to the extent that you don't get a lot of influence.
Okay.
And the level to which people are exposed to social media, which contributes almost to like 90% of the teenagers' behaviors,
Okay.
is lower compared to the level of that same exposure within the urban areas.
Okay.
So that one, they saw it as a way of like trying to shield us from a lot of influence, you know, because children will always want to behave like the people they see around,
Yeah.
like what they see online, what they see on the media and all that. So that informs whatever they follow. So the behavior that a child adopts leads to a particular character.
Sure.
Yes, and that character development is very key because it defines the struggles that can come in the future and how a child is able to go around them or navigate.
That's true.
So it is very key. So that's why I was saying the environment speaks a lot.
That's true.
Yes, and the upbringing itself, another important thing is the upbringing. Yes, they always say if you spare the rod, the child automatically is spoiled. No. The Bible also says, okay,
Spare
train
the
a
rod,
child
yeah.
in the right way when
Yeah.
they're still young, and they're not likely to depart from them or from it when they grow old.
Sure.
So everything that revolves around someone who is youthful is a reflection of the parentage.
Wow. You
Yes.
know, that's big because I'm looking at the situations that we have around
Yes.
and the many youths. Like sometime there was a rampage on a young lady somewhere in Nairobi, and you could see the young, very youthful and strong men harassing the young lady. And when you say this is it depicts the people that brought us up. That's very sad to imagine that.
Most likely. Fine. Okay, some people, okay, they can have good parents, but you know, in the current situation where people stay more so within the urban centers, parents are so much preoccupied with how they'll provide for their families.
Sure.
Yeah, during these hard times financially, not many families are stable. And keeping a family in Nairobi or within any urban setup currently is not so easy,
Sure.
given that most Kenyans, even the ones who are working, they don't work for much. Yes. The value for money, when you put it against basic needs and even many more, you'll find so much money can do so little.
That's true.
No. So that one now makes the parents, in as much as they can be physically present, they are technically absent. They spend so little time to look after the children in terms of who are their friends, how they spend their own free time, what programs are their favorite, which are their channels, what breed of music or type and all that, who are their role models among the celebs and all that. So you'll find children basically nowadays, they choose for themselves the life they want to live, the behaviors and characters they want to have. Not even by design or even making of the parents, but now, okay, which one is weighty? Would you spend so much time looking at the progress and the behavior of your child at the expense of providing? So you'll find the other side of provision. No, it takes so much time of the parent to the extent that they can only realize of something when it's too late. So you cannot solely blame it on the parents, maybe whether they are there or not. But now you can also put part of it on the economic situation, you know, of the country at the moment. So that one, to an extent, plays a very big role. So you'll find, and mostly, okay, the current world, most people, even citizens and even the younger ones now, people always tend to solve matters the way they like. Like the incident we're talking about. I don't know whether it's the young lady who was harassed in
No, it's a
traffic
young
jam.
lady who was harassed by
Yes.
many of them.
Good. So, you know, people always tend to solve things the way they do. I don't know, it is an issue stemming out of maybe governance and bureaucracies, or maybe procedures when you want to maybe pursue an issue. Because maybe for people to take such actions, it means there's no better way through which such issues can be addressed. And even if they follow that channel, it's like they have no trust, there's no hopes. It's like it will be a formality, but nothing will come out of it. So such things may make people go overboard. And you know, crowds never reason, you know. Yeah, when people are acting like a mob, they always reason and do things below average expectation.
Wow.
So you can, if you single them out, then you'll find they're better.
No,
than
I
when
like
they're in a
I
group.
like the issues that you've raised, because they are way deeper than I even thought. When I look at the Kenyan teenager,
Yes.
first of all, they are raising themselves, mostly and especially the ones who are from the urban setting. They've been left to raise themselves. They are choosing what it is they want. They are choosing their role models. Their parents are not there to be the role models. So I can see the reason as to why we have some second social fabric of the youth today, because there are no better role models that have been, instilled. And the way you said that you were taken to the village so that you could be responsible. The substance abuse, was it in the village? But I know it's there today in the villages. So as much as our environment is different with the people in the urban setting and those in the rural setting,
Okay.
they also have troubles, because these are the same people, maybe from the villages, that come to the urban settings, but still you find there are issues.
Okay, when you talk about drug and substance abuse,
And self-image.
okay, that personality, all these things, as I had said before, their prevalence is directly proportional to the level of exposure to sources from where someone can access such items. For instance, things like vices like drug abuse, maybe drug baroning. You know, these people, they target population. But now, if you want to compare and maybe consider the number of persons staying up country and those within the urban centers, obviously, a lot of people have migrated from the village into the urban centers, because they believe their chances of success are higher when they are within the towns, unlike when they're up country.
That's true.
So going by that, you will find this almost very ready market for these illegal items that they use, compared to when people are up country. In fact, up country, when you hear about someone dealing with such things, it's like if you get one here, the other one will get like far away, and it's not obvious that we'll hear about them. The major problem that is within up country are these local brews. Yeah, but now all that also depends on the background. You know, at home, there are those homes that traditionally they are known for such brewing.
Yeah.
And in such families, you'll find that even that youngest of the family uses them. Because of that, you can't cook.
It's a part of
Yes,
them.
you can't cook and not eat. So you'll find in as much as, in towns, you'll find the place where you stay, the next building is a pub or a restaurant, or,
Yeah.
So people, they smoke there, you're there hanging on maybe the balcony and all that, and you see the other side, someone is doing something else. Unlike at home.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's purely on the environment in most cases. And you'll find at home, parents take a lot of responsibility on who are your friends,
Yeah.
where do you play,
That's true.
you know. So a lot of follow-up and concern.
Yeah.
A
By
lot-
everyone, actually.
Yes, you are taken care of and you are looked after by the community, the nuclear family, the extended, the clan,
Yeah.
and all that. So you cannot compare that to a situation whereby someone locks the children. Okay, you know, in towns, people within a room, you don't know what happens there.
Yeah.
The doors are always under lock, whether people are in or not.
Sure.
So even if someone is committing some crime, or maybe a child is misbehaving, or maybe is behaving wayward, you won't know even if you are someone who could pardon the child because of that enclosure.
Sure.
But at home, you'll find people are only within the house, maybe when they're watching some programs, or maybe they're taking meals. Naturally, children, they are out there running, and a lot of fields you can play, you can run, you can do a lot. It is very adventurous, by the way, being up country.
That's true.
So all that, you are so much occupied to the extent that you don't even have time to know what are cigarettes, what are what, these brews and all that. So is environment very key.
That's true. That's
For-
true. I
for
accept
bringing-
all this
yes,
because
yes.
yeah, it is all going back to the environment in which someone is socialized into, and it creates the character that you're going to have all through until maybe you want to change it, and it will take a lot of energy to change
Yes,
who you have become. So I'm thinking of the parent who has not managed to, or rather is not in any position to raise their children up country. Now, like we already moved to the, is there hope for us? Because environment is key, that one I agree.
Yes.
How is there hope for us?
Okay, for
'Cause myself, I'm a parent, hey, and I'm in Nairobi here.
yeah.
Any hope for me?
You still have some hopes, but now you'll have to play so much. You have to take a huge responsibility to ensure that your child is not wayward. And it starts by regulating the programs that a child watches. Very important.
Sure.
And I want to pick issues with the artists of our day. You know,
Yeah.
according to my own analysis, I am simply simplifying the quality of music that we have lately to be like a competition of nudity. Who is most naked? That's the video that will sell, is the whatever that people will watch, you know. Who is most naked? That is it. Not even the content of the song that maybe you are performing or doing. So that is where we have gotten to.
Yeah.
So a lot of distraction is from the media.
True.
You'll find maybe a child as young as someone in class 6 already has a Facebook account,
Yeah.
Twitter handle, knows how to use TikTok and all that,
Yeah.
you know. So that level of exposure, technology is just okay.
Yeah.
But now, you know, anything without control
Yeah.
is so much disastrous, however good it is.
Sure.
So you'll find they'll always go to channels that has
Some
indecent music,
Yeah.
movies and all that. So it is very key. It is very key. Even as a parent now that you are, the type of music that you listen to when the children are there, very important in shaping the people they will be in the future.
Yeah.
The type of videos that you watch in terms of music or even movies, that is very important. Because whatever you see at a tender age, you are likely to stick on it for long than that which will, you know, someone like you. Whatever you are encountering now, can't be of so much
And what
impact
I
in your
encountered
memory,
back then.
in your memory, because you have so many other important things that are taking so much part of whatever you have to think about and whatnot. But for those children, you know, they are not so much into so much thinking. So every little thing that enters their minds is almost permanent. So it is very key.
Let me cut you short because this is so heavy and so deep. My dear viewer, I hope you're coming along and you can feel, because I'm feeling this one as I hear, the level of, let's say, the level of struggle that maybe we have exposed our children, our teenage and our youths to, because of, first of all, the environment that we are raising our children, and this shapes their characters as they grow up. And as he's saying right now, whatever programs you expose your children to, now for most of us who live on this side of the country, on the urban centers, whatever you are allowing your children to get into their minds, this one is imprinted for life. Like their brain is some sort of a sponge that absorbs every single thing that they encounter. And I'm feeling so sad because a lot of parents have left their children to raise themselves, as our viewer, as our guest is telling us. So I wish you could continually digest all this as we take a sip of our water here. Please don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with more of this.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back, my dear viewer. We continue with this topic on the struggle on the Kenyan youths. So I know they are going through a lot. We've seen the environment, how it can affect the characters that they gain, and we can see how also the economic situation, how much is affecting our youths and our teenagers. And as we continue with the conversation, make sure you're joining in our SMS line to 1144 and in all our social media handles at GBS TV Africa. Tula, we always say that struggle builds strength. But I don't know, this kind of struggle, I am not seeing it building. It's more of down watering.
Okay.
Yeah.
The real struggles that you can talk about impacting on someone to be so strong, maybe you can view it on the part of the standard of living that a family has. For instance, you can find some other children, they have, okay, some children may have almost everything at their disposal, while others, they can barely go to school, feed, clothes, you know. So most people always said, most people who have succeeded, it is out of what maybe they went through, the hardships and all that they had gone through.
Maybe, but
During
let me look at it this way.
tender age.
Now, there's this young person that we have been talking about
Yeah.
they've been exposed too much. You said
Yes.
that too much of something is very destructive.
Obviously.
And also the environments that a lot of people have been socialized in, they have caused different characteristics in the young adults. Now, the young adult, the young or the youth Kenyan, the Kenyan youth, has some struggles, which I think are coming from the struggle that we've just talked about. Now, and I know they are a little different because we can see them in the society. Now, the Kenyan youth is going through a lot.
Okay, on that part, maybe based on character and all that, you can find most of them are struggling to keep up with the current fashion of the day, you know, because they want to dress like others.
Yeah.
Yes, they want to, wanasema kupiga luku. But now the person who wants to piga luku in their own words can't support that lifestyle.
Hizi piga hustle pia.
Yes. Okay, you know, most of us have become so lazy.
That's true.
And I've been sitting somewhere waiting for things to happen so
Manna
that they
from
can
heaven.
have, yes, they can have money.
Mm.
So those are the people who will say, the people who have money, maybe they had godfathers or they inherited it, or they never want to go through people's stories, where they started, what they went through, how they went around all the vices, or maybe the toxic environment and all the peer pressure, the negative influence, and all that. So most youths are like, I want to afford a shoe that I saw another youth putting on, without knowing how the other youth got it. Maybe the parent provided,
Sure.
but in their own case, the parent is
Cannot afford.
basically focusing on how they can eat. Any other thing is luxury.
Okay.
When you walk around Nairobi, you'll find so many buildings are upcoming, high-rise, flats,
Yeah.
oh no, constructions here and there. Go to those sites, do sampling randomly, take statistics or data, find out how many people in that site are 25 and below. They'll be so few,
Very few.
1 or 3. The people who are maybe 35 and beyond, or 30 plus, are a majority
Sure.
of the casuals there. Because they have known that you have to work so that you eat, so that you educate children, so that you support your family, you offset your bills,
Sure.
and anything else. So most of our struggles are self-inflicted, in that we want to sustain a lifestyle that we are not ready to provide for. You know, when you live up country, it is so much adventurous. You'll find, for those who come from areas that are mountainous and bushy, they are even into maybe charcoal burning and all that, though that is harmful to the environment in terms of the destruction. But now the level of exposure those sides, they cannot digest that and understand they are harming the environment. You'll find some, they go fishing.
Yeah.
You'll find some, they go to these construction sites.
Yeah.
It
And
is
then the
fun.
farms, yeah.
It is fun, you know. You want to have your own money and you feel responsible.
Oh, and own money is very sweet.
Yes, but come here, you are always after that change that you never give the parent when you are sent to get some items from the shop and all that. Now you want to, you know, you want to dress like one or two celebs that you saw somewhere the other day, without having a proper plan on how you want to support this.
Yeah.
Yeah? And the parents of today, you will come to the house and find maybe your child having a nice phone. You don't question where the phone came from. Instead, you go ahead to borrow the phone to use. The child, not employed, not doing anything casual. You didn't give the money.
So,
Obviously,
so the parents
have
are
to question,
some sort of an enablers.
yes, you have to question the source. If it was maybe a pair of shoes or maybe long trousers, any other thing, that you did not provide, and you are so sure that your child never hustles for him or herself,
Yeah.
you should find out from which source. You know, that's how people start going into crime. Maybe that phone was stolen from someone else, and you allowed the phone to stay in your house.
Yeah.
You know, the child will say, you know, I don't have any issue, even if I brought a car tomorrow, yet my status cannot even afford a simple bicycle at the moment. The parents will say, you have done well. Well, in real sense, it is questionable how you managed to bring the car in. Maybe when your daughter comes with maybe a hair done, maybe to a tune of 1,000 plus, you don't question. Then the same you will complain of an early pregnancy, infection, child dropping out of school, early marriage and all that, while you were there
And you
when
go
it
into the
was
situation.
starting.
Yeah.
So in as much as we are so much busy and all that, let us not see children as like they're supporting us. So you're like caged, you cannot question. your boy brought milk and maybe sugar to the house, and you didn't ask where the money that bought that came from.
In this case, the parents should remain parents.
Yes.
No parent should expect their children to provide for them.
And if they do, they have to know the source of that money. What did you do to get the money that you had spent in doing this? You know, that's what most parents do.
Now, on that note, these are the things that we've seen, even a 25-year-old boy marrying an 81-year-old grandma, or a 20-year-old girl going for a very old man. For it's some sort of a business.
Okay. You know, that is simply, you simply want to succeed minus going through the right procedure.
Yeah.
You know, most of us lately, there's that principle of hope, step, and jump. We hope, then we want to jump. We don't make a step. So people work from resource backwards
now.
Not from a beginning to a result. So you are born to do side things. You want to sustain a lifestyle that you cannot manage, and you don't have a work plan. You know, you are obviously likely to make wrong decisions, and in most cases, it is out of exploitation. You want to inherit wealth from someone beyond your age. So you just fall for anything. So you'll just find there's an abuse, someone is being misused. At the end of the day, you never get what you wanted. So the right thing to do, everyone started from somewhere. Just get yourself disciplined and well-behaved. You know, even your own parent at home, you can take their own examples, like maybe for people who fall for such people. Your own mother never went for a 90-year-old man. They are aging together alongside, side by side with your father. Your own father never brought in a small girl in the name of your mother. If you look at their ideas, maybe their dates of birth, there may be a maximum difference of maybe 5 or 10 years or whichever. But now, there's logic in, you know. So why can't you ask yourself, if my father never did this, why me? If my mother never went through this route, why have I to? What's the difference between them and I? At one point, they were at my age, and they never went the path I'm taking.
Someone will tell you that the economic situation pushes me to this.
Economic situations have never been better at any time.
Okay.
That is true.
Yeah.
The same way people are barely feeding today is the same way they are barely feeding decades back.
What about the lack
it is
of
the generations
employment?
who have changed. The people who are sleeping hungry 20 years back are maybe dead or maybe old. So the people who are sleeping hungry this time, it is their own turn. You know, every every generation has gone through a lot.
Okay.
And there's no generation that has ever come out and said, okay, like now, you know, people are saying last year was better than this year. Obviously. And people are saying the previous year before last year was better.
Exactly.
You know, and when 2023 comes, you will be saying 2022 was better. So there's no any single day you will ever say
this year
life is good. No. Struggles are everywhere. Yes. You'll find sometimes back, maybe the cost of bread, the cost of any other item was like relatively lower than the cost it is priced at the moment. But you will not find that everyone could afford that same bread. At the moment, people are saying it has really gone high.
It's double the price.
Still not everyone will afford. And even if it goes to whatever amount. So life is ever not so bearable. It is people it is generations that change. Like the ones who are being fed 20 years back are now feeding people today.
Sure.
And the ones that are being fed now will be feeding people in the years to come.
That's
so
true.
Every generation has their own time and struggles. So that one should not be an excuse to make irresponsible decisions that, oh, life pushed me. Why is not everyone making the same decision? We'll find out of 10 young men, it is only one that has married a 100-year-old woman.
Yeah.
For the sake of life is hard. I want to take the other route. You know?
So all those
It is-
are excuses.
Those are excuses for people who are irresponsible. You want to
So they
sustain
want us
something
now
you have
to-
not worked for.
They are trying to justify their moral
Yes,
decadence
that is
with
it.
the economic situation.
Yes, you know, okay. There are some people who even never grew up under strict supervision of the parents, but they had made a decision that they want to be responsible, and they made it. Some people have had good parents,
Yeah.
but they have also chosen to be wayward. So in as much as some parents maybe can be there to ensure they have brought up their children the best way possible. They may have just not succeeded because there was no will on the side of the child.
Okay.
Yeah, but I know they tried, and even if they have any little opportunity at the moment, their own children, they'll simply advise them accordingly. But let us not live according to the way other people are living. That is the major undoing.
Okay.
You always want to fit in the society.
Now, let me talk to my viewer, because what you're telling us today, I hope everyone can absorb this. Tula, I just love your way of viewing things, because, my dear viewer, I hope you can hear these ones for yourself, that economy, times have never changed. Things are ever hard. Nasemanga last year was better than this year. And that's actually very true. There's no time tunasemanga this year is actually way better than last year. We always have, last year was better than. So it's actually an excuse that people make for their moral decadence. As Tula says, it's not that times are hard. We can always make it better. And he said that
There's no excuse for taking irresponsible decisions.
there's no excuse for making irresponsible decisions.
Yes.
So the struggles that we are all going through, that youths are going through, there's no excuse. So then he said there's no shortcut for the people who are going to look for shortcuts. It is hop, step, and jump. So allow us to take a little bit of our water here, and don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with more.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back, my dear viewer. We continue with the struggles that the Kenyan youth go through. And before we went on break, Tula said that there's no excuse for making irresponsible decisions. So we always have to make better decisions that will change our today and our tomorrow. And he's making me laugh over here, telling me that there's no excuse for anyone who comes to tell you that nimekupiga ngeta juu at times are hard. Does it even make sense? So, Tula, we are in the election year.
Okay.
And these are the times when a lot of youths get to be misused, still on the same excuse that times are hard.
True.
Now, please caution these boys and girls, because that is the excuse that they make.
Yeah.
We've seen, by the way, in a lot of videos going around, whenever people go for these rallies,
Yes.
whatever, they go campaigning, we can see them looting seriously. And people are left without their stock, their phones, even wigs from the head. Can you imagine the extent of that? It's so sad.
Okay. Politically, you know, in life, whatever action that someone takes, they should have thought over it thoroughly, so that you take in the consequences without any regrets. Most of our youths, currently, the breed of politicians that we have And in most cases, we'll find politicians have always tuned us or maybe conditioned us to think that it is only them that will solve our problems. While if you go around, on the flip side, the same problems that they want to solve, they are the genesis.
That's true.
So you'll find someone like, for instance, the youths have been told they're at the bottom and they will be brought at the top. So they're not doing anything. They're not doing anything. They're waiting for the next government
To be brought to the top.
yes, so that the billions that they have been promised will be dished out. You know?
Yeah.
And the same them have been made to think that because you are having maybe an iPhone is the reason why they don't have a kabambe. They don't know that is out of hard work and responsibility
That's true.
that to got the phone. So that incitement has been there. Someone who is not even looking for any opportunities, even casual jobs, even just anything to make themselves useful,
Yeah.
is there blaming someone who is always going out to work
Yeah.
to make their own money. So they are saying we are poor because they are rich. No sense in that.
I've heard that.
Yes, that is it. So instead of now, okay, getting into someone's profile, where did Kate start from? Kate this year, alikuwa maybe messenger hapa, alikuwa labda house girl pale, alikuwa anafulia watu nguo zile za mtaani. She was like doing one or two things.
Sure.
So casual. And now she got this little capital. She had maybe started like selling things online, maybe shoes, maybe clothes and all that. Then the business boomed. She moved into another proper business after expanding and all that. They never want to hear that story, how you got to where you are.
Yeah, they
That
don't
is
want to
simply
look
what
through
I'm
the
saying.
process.
They are so much focused and concerned about your current status. It's like they're trying to assume you were born and from nowhere, riches came, and their own is not coming like that. So it's like now, you have to be a target. They have to rob you, they have to hate you, they have to like, that is what the boda people have been made to believe.
Yeah.
That because you have a V8 is why they are owning a boda. Any slight disagreement or the smallest accident there.
So there becomes
Choma
a hate
dynasty.
between the, the rich
So
and
we
the
have
poor.
to embrace the character of hard work. Or else,
Yeah.
most of us, the level of poverty will still rise. There are opportunities the same way we are discussed. If you even take statistics or go around,
Yeah.
look for data in Nairobi. How many buildings are upcoming where casual laborers are needed? You can't exhaust them.
That's true.
Now, that one is workforce that is readily available. The youths are not there. But now, where we got wrong as a nation is when the government decided to make mostly, almost all the existing mid-level colleges to be constituent universities of the main universities that were existing by then. So that everyone around has a degree. And now the people who are skilled, the people who are in technical field are now lacking.
Okay.
And that is where work is. There's a shortage of people now who are doing electrical and all that installation at the moment. The people are doing machinery. You know, when university used to be university is when the cutoff points were high.
That's true.
You know? But now, of late, any grade, you can have a degree.
Exactly.
Almost.
I see he's
So
going to the university.
people have despised this other courses. Huh?
Yeah.
No one wants to be a plumber of late.
Yeah.
No one wants to be like now. So after holding that degree, what next? Things are not adding up now.
Itawak.
And now that's now when now they changed you, now they're setting up TVETs everywhere. because now the skills are lacking. You know, when a building is being set up, a mansion in whichever way will be required. At one point, a plumber will be brought in.
That's true.
At one point, someone will come to install electricity. At a point, someone will come to do painting. Someone will do interior. Someone will be there to do exterior work.
That's true.
Yeah. So most of us, we wanted to go to offices. And the same offices, even your own father has not made arrangements, is not having a company so that one of the offices will be put there. You know? So I think that system should be corrected, because most of us have been made to believe that it's only out of university that people succeed, not elsewhere. But now the most useless people around are the ones holding degrees, which cannot help them.
Because
And the
they have
most
remained
useful
stuck.
are people who stopped schooling at maybe class 8 or who dropped out in class 6. And they followed a fundi for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
You give them a plan, they rise a building,
That's true.
even 6 floors,
That's true.
you know? So it is also like, also a mentality, like people, they want comfort. You know, when you want to be comfortable, maybe you should die so that you comfortably rest in the grave. But once you are still alive, hapa
There's
unatembea,
no comfort.
you are inviting poverty, and it will come like fire.
It's true.
That is most of us, like, we just want lavish, 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 and no provision for that.
I heard someone say some time back, actually it was in the social media, that for the people who went through the system and got themselves degrees and stuff like that, and then they're out here tamarking and depressed, not making themselves useful. It's like education.
Wasted them.
No, this was a saying that your intelligence was educated out of you. Because now they lost the sense. They only want comfort, which is not forthcoming.
White collar jobs.
Yes, white collar jobs, and they are not forthcoming.
Yeah.
So
you'll find even shirts that has those collars so that they can get those white collar jobs. The shirts with the collars are not there in the first place. So they cannot even afford the same shirts. So those who went for the blue collar, whichever, the casuals, are the ones now wearing shirts, and now they are supervising on sites and telling the graduates, fanya hivi na hivi, utai kupangika, get your own means of doing things. So I've always opined that going to school is just to make you reason better than someone who never did. People don't go to school so that they get maybe decent jobs. Those jobs are not there.
Yeah.
In fact, you should just be thinking better. And once you think better, 1 or 2 successes must come your way. But if you go to school, you know, going to school and translating that knowledge into money outside here, not everyone gets it right. A majority has lost it.
yeah.
You'll find someone, there's an opportunity for a driver needed somewhere, but because someone is holding a degree,
I cannot do that.
they can't apply to be a driver.
It's beneath their level.
A secretary is needed somewhere, but because maybe I did statistics and maths, I should be maybe in an audit company, KPMG, Infotrack, you know, so I can't, you know. So being choosy, you know, when you are begging, you cannot choose anything.
That's
You
true.
said so.
That's
so it's
true.
like you want your own provision that you cannot give yourself. And now you are there idle, getting wasted and cursing all the days you spent in school, cursing the bad governance, our politicians are not doing
Cursing the
this,
rich.
joblessness,
Yeah.
we are waiting for them, we are going to vote them out, and you are there idle. Any government that comes into place will not help such a person. No government will help such a person.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
because you are waiting to be spoon-fed.
Okay.
You are seeing opportunities, you know, at times, Kate,
Okay, no, Tula, we've had a very nice time and you've opened a lot of people's minds, I'm sure, because even me, I can see differently now.
Okay.
And because of time, and I
Yes.
wish we do this some more, my dear viewer, I hope you watch out for the next one because he has a lot. And now that we've delved into the issues and the struggles that the Kenyan youth is going through, we are going to come back with how you can become a responsible Kenyan. So you watch, not just Kenyan, but youth. We're focusing on the youth here. So I wish you could give your parting shot, and then coming back, we'll do this some other time with how to make them responsible Kenyan. Give them all the knowledge that you do
Okay,
have. Yeah.
my parting shot to the youths is that just make a choice to be responsible. Don't have any excuse as to why you want to engage in crime and become lazy. People have succeeded from things that people never thought would make them succeed. And in most cases, even the ones who have gone to school, going to school means it sensitizes you that the bread you want to make already, you have the baking flour, there's fire somewhere, you have oil, you have water, you have all that. Now, putting all these things, all the ingredients, education always helps you to identify the ingredients that you have around you that you can put together to make a meal. So that is what most people are not opening up their eyes to see. They want the end product, but now they don't want to go around to make it. So being responsible pays off at the end of the day.
Okay.
And no one has lost it. With or without any degree, with or without school, you can still make yourself useful.
All right.
Yes, and become someone at the end of the day. Otherwise, it is money that matters. It's not who is most educated and who is not. And money, you have to work towards it. Shortcuts are always sweet, but short-lived, the way they're short, and very dangerous.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Tula. We've been honored to have you. Thank you for educating us and inspiring us at the same time. Now, my dear viewer, I'm thanking you for holding with us all this long. Thank you for your comments and your questions. And we've looked through all this, and one thing that has come out is that we need to check, for the guardians and the parents, you need to check the environment in which you're raising your children. You need to regulate the programs and everything that they are being exposed to, because we've seen these children, they are more of a sponge. Whatever comes in, will be imprinted in their minds forever. And control, because whatever if there is no control, everything becomes disastrous for the youths and for the teenagers. Remember to make yourselves useful. Don't hate on the rich, the government and everything. It's never better for anyone, but you make your own life better. So make yourself useful, and remember, not making excuses for your irresponsible decisions. So until next time, and leave you here. Bye-bye.